I can't believe it. Teofimo Lopez, really? At a time like this? Huh? At a time like this in the sport of boxing, you got the balls. You got the cojones. Huh? Really? To still dare to be great? Teofimo Lopez is calling out Jaron Ennis, the welterweight lineal Ring Magazine unified champion of the world. And y'all already know that Teofimo Lopez is the WBO super WBO champion in the junior welterweight division. Is a two-time lineal champion. Got the Ring Magazine, lineal versus lineal. Fast versus fast, speed versus speed, champion versus champion, youth versus youth, prime versus prime, quickness versus quickness. Ladies and gentlemen, it just take me 10 years ago. 10 years ago, 2015. Teofimo Lopez was the Golden Glove national winner in the lightweight division, and Jaron Ennis was the Golden Glove national winner in the welterweight division. And look what we have now. They in the same position 10 years ago that they are right there. They had the same position today that they were 10 years ago. The stars have aligned itself. It is time. Turkey Al Sheikh, a.k.a. Aladdin, a.k.a. said if Teofimo Lopez was going to be victorious versus Honor Barbosa, that he would love to see a fight with Jaron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about the magical matchup that I believe this is today's Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm telling you, it was in their prime. Teofimo Lopez traditionally moving up, realistically, daring to be great. Not like somebody's going to be trying to dare to be great in September and stuff like that. But Turkey Al Sheikh, he just said, I would like Teofimo Lopez to fight Ennis. I would love it. Can you imagine? Look, that could be his own main event. I would like to see also, if it can be in the main event, Teofimo Lopez versus Jaron Ennis as the co-main event to Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez in September. Wow. 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 Man. Teofimo Lopez, and the good thing about great matchups is that it needs that great momentum, right? It needs that great momentum. Now, of course, a lot of people talking about this Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. They don't have that momentum going there. Canelo Alvarez probably had the worst fight or outing of his career. Terence Bud Crawford had his worst outing of his career, and while they've been elite and pound for pound, but Teofimo Lopez got the momentum back. You know what I'm saying? Everything was working on all cylinders. The jabs was a beautiful jabs, tripling the jabs, quadrupling the jab, parry the jab, counter punches, right hand, pull counters, left hook. You know what I'm saying? Counter the jab with the uppercut, parry the jab and stuff like that. Show great different defenses, and you can tell that he has elevated his defensive and his offense. The outplay, I'm gonna say this: the only one that the only maybe constructive criticism, because I believe that it was a near perfect outing for Teofimo Lopez. The only thing that didn't happen was the knockout. Maybe he could up his combination punches, because in the ninth round you can see a lot of combination punches to the body and up top. Man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. He upped the punch count because he's gonna need to up the punch count versus a Jaron Ennis, or he could put him on handcuffs in terms of taking away the good attributes of Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis does got footwork just like Teofimo Lopez. I think that Teofimo Lopez is quicker than Jaron Ennis. The power probably you could give right now to Jaron Ennis and stuff like that, because he's bigger and things of that nature. His jab, his output, he throws more punches than Teofimo Lopez. And I think that for Teofimo Lopez's height and where he's at and speed, I believe that he could throw a little bit more punches and add more combinations. That's the only constructive criticism that we could take away from Teofimo Lopez and his outing versus Honor Barbosa, because that ninth rounder was overwhelming. He landed at 30 plus shots, and Jaron Ennis is a very overwhelming fighter as well, always using the jab, using the footwork, switching from orthodox to southpaw to orthodox. So he shows a lot of wrinkles to his game. The difference is that he's showing his wrinkles to his game versus Stanionis, Karen, and stuff like that. With Teofimo Lopez showed wrinkles to his game versus Josh Taylor, pound for pound, undisputed. Vasily Lomachenko at the time that was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you can flip it around, right? Honor Barbosa that was undefeated. Probably Honor Barbosa has a better resume than a Stanionis. You know what I'm saying? So Teofimo Lopez always with the got the best resume of his contemporaries, right? So he got the experience, he got the accomplishments, he has the speed, he got the power, he got the quickness, he has the reflex, he has the twitch muscle. I think that Teofimo Lopez, when we put all the repertoire put together and they put their skill set up against Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, could upset Jaron Boots Ennis, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people will pick Jaron Boots Ennis as the favorite, but I don't think that Jaron Boots Ennis has done what Teofimo Lopez has done in the sport of boxing. And even though that is a lineal versus lineal, ring magazine versus ring magazine, Teofimo Lopez won the ring magazine and the lineal title from Vasily Lomachenko, Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Boots Ennis won it from Stanionis. Now, arguably, was Stanionis and Boots Ennis the best that welterweight has to offer? I think that Mario Barrios had a better resume and had a better wins than Stanionis. Brian Norman Jr., I don't know if that was necessarily a great idea, but I think that anyway, I believe that a lot of people just believe that the perception is that Jaron Boots Ennis is the best welterweight. And I've been saying for a long time that Jaron Boots Ennis was going to become the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. I think that he is the best welterweight. If you put him up against anybody in the welterweight, currently in the welterweight division right now, he beats them. When it comes to Teofimo Lopez, that's another story. But of course, we want to see Teofimo Lopez, how he's going to look when he goes to the 147-pound division and stuff like that. He's already a small 140, but you know, height is just height. You know, we've seen Manny Pacquiao does his thing. We've seen Floyd Mayweather, you know, move up in the ranks as well. We've seen Canelo Alvarez, 4-division world champion. He's probably almost the same height as Teofimo Lopez. So, in this time in boxing, I can't, you know, no, it's very rare for fighters like Teofimo Lopez to dare to be great. And that's why he got the cojones, he got this particular fortitude, you know, that he's not neglecting, to dare to be great. You know what I'm saying? He's not neglecting to walk the fine lines of taking risks and being the underdog once again, because he'll be the underdog for the third time. So that's what it is, man. A lot of fighters nowadays is not daring to be great like Teofimo Lopez, especially in this young generation. I could tell you that Teofimo Lopez, Danny Dubois, Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz, who else? David Benavidez, right? David Benavidez, Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz, Teofimo Lopez, Daniel Dubois. These guys are really taking the type of risk. You know, Devin Haney did take on Vasily Lomachenko, but already when Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko. So I'm not sure in the style that he fights. We're still waiting on guys like Gervonta Tank Davis is there to be great. But to be honest, a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis, you look at his resume and you look at it's probably aging a little bit well, you know, in reference to Ryan Garcia losing to Rolly and him beating Rolly and Ryan Garcia. But nonetheless, Teofimo Lopez is one of the few. Now Yaino Uwe, but now Yaino Uwe is 32 years old, but now Yaino Uwe, you know what I'm saying? Now he doesn't have the lucrative names. Hopefully Bam Rodriguez does move up, you know, when he does move up. I don't know if now Yaino Uwe is going to go to the 126 that fast. I think he's going to stay at 122 for a while, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a rematch with Stephen Fulton, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe move to 126 and fight the likes of what's his name that he fought the other day? Espinoza. Maybe Espinoza and now Yaino Uwe will be a good fight. But that's one thing, man. Teofimo Lopez, Jaron Boots Ennis, I believe, is the primary fight of this generation. We've been talking about the Four Kings for quite some time. Yet, at the end of the day, I think that Jaron Boots Ennis never was in the conversation of the Four Kings. But we could say right now that in his accomplishment, he's accomplished more than Tank. He's accomplished more than Ryan. We could say that Boots Ennis and Teofimo Lopez is now, you know, got the momentum to be the top of the line of this young generation, and they entertain as well. And I believe they're the most polished fighters, not just boxers, because they can box you out, but they can also fight you. They can also turn it up and turn this thing into a war. Let me know what y'all think, man. This is Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. Love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.